if you've got kids, you'll completely understand what just happened. My kids handed me these and said, Mom, you've got to wear these on your next video or else you're an absolute party pooper. So there you go. These are my Christmas specs. Now taking them off. Or still officially wearing them. Anyway, it's the end of 2025 almost. And I just wanted to like check in and say hi and just let you know I'm taking a little bit of break. Just so I can freshen up and reconsider how things are going to move forwards on my YouTube channel and in my membership over in 2026. 2026 is like super exciting. I mean, the full moon on the 3rd is like insanely strong and potent, slightly worrying in fact, but you know, there's some very strong lunations. I'm definitely going to be talking about that in 2026. But anyway, it's Christmas Day tomorrow, and I don't know how you celebrate or if you celebrate at all. And we're in the run up to the new year. And these moments in time often bring up a little bit of stress for us. They can also, I think, I don't know, be a bit overwhelming. I, for one, definitely review everything that has happened in the year, and I can get a little bit introverted. I don't know what it's like for you. So I just wanted to share with you the forecast that I shared within my community on school. This is the forecast for Christmas Day, and I hope it will be a little bit helpful to you. So anyway, have a good one. And if I don't see you before, I'll catch you in the new year. Lots of love. Okay, so we're on to Thursday, the 25th of December, 2025. As ever, I've got the 3 guest asteroids of the week. One of them is Pax for peace on earth. The other is truth, you know, about like living by your truth and coming into trust. I think truth and trust, you know, have a similar core. And then also loving, asteroid loving, you know, what is that showing us about how we love ourselves? I think this is a time when we do need to love ourselves more, you know, because like we can be really taken out of our present moment, funny present, but we can be taken out of our present moment and like transported back in time, almost like in a time machine back into childhood, back into those familial positions that often come up and get replayed over and over again. So one of the things I'm most excited about Thursday is the fact that we've got the moon going into the sign of Pisces. First of all, that's really quite transcendent. It's really quite open. It's really quite flowy. So you know, when I think of it from that perspective, you know, there's less resistance. You know, if you've got family members or people around you that tend to be super strong and really forceful, you might find that they ease off a little bit. You know, the sign of Pisces can be a little bit, like moon in Pisces, it can be very soft and gentle. And it can also be a little bit, I don't want to say medicated, though, that can absolutely happen. And I do think, you know, with the moon in Pisces for the next couple of days, it could become a bit of a booze fest if that's your thing. But it's a time when we might want to just absolutely be relaxing in our bodies and almost feel everything just melt away. You know, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, and, you know, it's the end of the zodiacal story. And so, you know, like if Aries is the beginning of the story, Pisces is the end of the story. So, you know, I see this as, you know, drawing a close to maybe how other Christmases have gone. And maybe you're about to let go of all of the expectations and things that you've been carrying this year so far. Maybe this is a Christmas that you can kind of take them off like a beautiful cloak, kind of shrug your shoulders a little bit, shake them off, and so forth. So this is great. What's even better, I think, and I think you'll agree as well, is we've got the moon in a gorgeous sextile to Venus. Then the moon will later make a lovely sextile to the sun. And then the moon will make yet another lovely sextile to Mars before the moon starts to line up in accordance, like into a conjunction with the North Node. Now, I really love this because, you know, I'm a big fan of sextiles, these little blue lines here. I think the sextiles are like the building blocks. You know, they connect everything together. They're, you know, like in a Lego kit, and, you know, you might have kids about to receive some Lego over the next day or two. In Lego, there's always a few pieces that you always want. And they're like the gold dust ones, because they don't really do much, or they don't appear to be very special, but all of a sudden they're the things that slot into place and allow one scheme to really merge with another scheme. And I really think the sextile is like that. And so it's harmonious, it's helpful, it's a little bit busy, it's wanting things to go well. And so the moon, our emotions, our psyche, our soul that is speaking through us, and also all the childlike, innocent energy in your family at the time will be absolutely ruled by the moon. But the moon connecting in a harmonious connection with Venus is absolutely, I think, an indication of a flow of generosity, a flow of kindness, compassion, love, this sort of genuine hug, a genuine appreciation, a genuine meeting. Like when you meet someone, you're really happy to see them. So I love that. I think that bodes really well. And then the moon later on in a sextile with the sun is, I guess, the receptivity and the outgoingness. The sun is shining and radiating. The moon is kind of absorbing that. And so there's a lovely balance. There's no overgiving. There's no overtaking. There is a lovely balance between putting stuff out and drawing it back in. And it feels like there's a good audience as well. So I think everyone's going to get a chance. Everyone's going to get an opportunity to participate, which really brings me on to the next part, which is the moon coming into a lovely sextile with Mars. Mars is about taking action. And he's very practical, really wants to do stuff, doesn't want to sit still. And so Mars in a sextile with the moon, I think our hearts and our bodies are very aligned. So maybe after you've celebrated, you might choose to go for a walk, or something like play games, but really throw yourself into this, throw yourself into conversations, really throw yourself into a big clear up, or whatever it is that you're doing in the way that you're doing it, whether it's religious, whether it's traditional, or whether, you've just got some time off work and you're appreciating the rest. This is an opportunity to dive into something with a background, because we've already, set this background up with a background of generosity, kindness, I would say lots of forgiveness, and also this reciprocity, which is really nice. Now, as the day comes to an end, the moon will be in a conjunction with the North Node. If I forward to Friday, you'll see that this has just taken place. So this conjunction with the North Node, the exact conjunction, is really late on in the day. This is in the London time zone, by the way. So if you're in America, that will be happening most likely, like late afternoon. If you're in Australia, that's more first thing in the morning. The good thing, though, with the moon is you're feeling it coming in, for a good 5 or 6 hours before. You're feeling it dissipate for 5 or 6 hours. So, I think even if you're in a really wildly different time zone to the London time zone, this still rings true. But the moon coming into a conjunction with the North Node, well, it's helping you get back on track. It's helping you really see what the meaning of this day is for you, whether it is for family, whether it is for reverence, whether it is that, you're ready to share more, be more open. Maybe you're getting clearer goals with your family. It might be that you're spending the day on your own. I know I've had a couple of Christmases on my own. Actually, they were quite the luxury. This could be a day when, you're going into yourself and gifting yourself. So however you're choosing to do it, I really think by the end of the day, you feel like you're back on track. And that's a really, really great feeling. Now, I put in asteroid Pax, and Pax is there to represent peace on Earth. You can see Pax is in this, and it's a bit of a wide orb, but I still want to refer to it because, to me, it's an illustration, but it's working with the energies of Uranus. It's also working with the energies of Pluto. To me, there is this transformational moment of peace that is absolutely possible. And it could be radical. This could be you drawing a line under the past and saying, okay, well, I'm ready to step beyond this. And it's not dependent on whether everyone else in your family is about to do the same. You know, this is something that feels independent and life transforming. You know, peace is within you if you want it. It's absolutely there for you, and it's really not dependent. Like, you can be peaceful and in forgiveness for things even if the people around you aren't. You know, I remember like years ago, like really wanting an apology from people, you know, for things that might have happened. And it almost stopped me from, it stopped me from my own peace. You know, that waiting for other people to rise up with you or step in closer, you know, it prevents you from moving forwards. And so I really see this as a beautiful possibility that, you know, we can step into this feeling of chosen peace. You know, I am here to choose peace. I'm here to choose my life, and it's powerful, you know, and it might feel a bit radical as well. I mentioned this in yesterday's forecast in the community, but like loving and truth, you know, in this opposition, I really see that, you know, we can have truth, and we can have the what looks like the harsh reality, and we can also have that loving energy where we feel absolutely looked after and it's kind of fluffy and everything. But I'm wondering how we can get into that point in between, you know, that integration point. I think it's really possible. These moon movements are mild, harmonious, but also productive. And so if any of these aspects in this week ahead can bring us into the middle, into the integration, this really is it. So that's where I'm going to leave this. Have a beautiful Christmas. I'm going to catch up with you and my community on Christmas Day. I'm going to carry on my forecast as usual, but wishing you a lovely, lovely Christmas. Thanks for all your support this year. And right now, I really, really appreciate it. Have a great one, and catch up with you all soon. Bye for now.